Good afternoon. Welcome to the Ludlow College Virtual Open event. This is our last session of the day, just where we'll be answering any queries you may have around admissions, transport, and any general inquiries about studying at Ludlow College. We've got a few little video clips to show you, just to give you some of the general commonly asked questions. And then we've got some staff members on hand who can answer any other further queries you have. So sit back and enjoy the video, and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Carl Morris and I'm head of Ludlow College. I would like to welcome you to our virtual open event. I thought I would start by explaining why you should consider coming to Ludlow College for your post-16 education. We have an excellent track record for academic performance for A-levels and vocational courses. Presently, we are ranked very highly on the national achievement tables. Virtually all of our students achieve their courses, with, on average, 99.3% of our A-level students passing their course over the past 5 years. 100% of our vocational students have passed their course over the last 3 years, with all our students gaining a positive career outcome, whether that is going to university, a job, or an apprenticeship. Our timetable is very different to other colleges. The average student comes into college for 3.5 days per week, therefore giving students freedom for part-time jobs, work experience, and limiting their travel to college time. We have excellent facilities with new science labs, a fitness suite, art and health and social care rooms, specialist rooms for media and dark rooms for photography, to name a few. Our curriculum is very broad, with 27 different A-levels, 4 level 3 vocational courses in sport, health and social care, early years and business, 2 level 2 vocational courses in health and social care and early years combined, and business. If you're interested in a career in football, please have a look into our football education programme, which is run in conjunction with Shrewsbury Town Football Club. All students have the opportunity to take part in one of our enrichment activities such as drama, sports teams, High Achievers programme, art academy, to name a few. If you have any questions, please take the opportunity to speak to the teachers during this event. Staff will be available to discuss transport and finance queries as well. I would just like to end by saying thank you for attending this event, and if you have not done so already, you can make an application to the college. This is done via our website, and once you've completed an application form, we will give you a telephone call to discuss your career options and your course options. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
So welcome to Ludlow College Student Services. My name's Sally Cassels and I'm Student Services Officer at Ludlow. I'm here to talk to you about what we do, how we can help, before, during and after your time at Sixth Form College. So before you join us, we're here for you on a number of fronts, such as answering questions about your application and subject choices, money, costs and finances, travel to college, support for when you start, whether that's academic, emotional, pastoral, practical, and we'll talk to you more about that in a minute. Essentially, I and the team are here to listen and to help clear up any worries and to make sure you feel you're making the right choices, because it's your future after all. So before you start making the right choices, you'll have made an application, you'll have had an interview, and you'll have discussed your subjects, both individually and combined, and your GCSE results and what college course level you're looking at. You should have had a conditional offer. In normal circumstances, you'd have gone to intro day, which is a day when you get to try out all your subjects just before you start. That may be different this year. At enrolment, which is usually at the end of August, we decide your timetable, and then you get to start college in September. So there are lots of chances to ask questions before you start. Now, the most frequent question I get is, how do I get to college? Well, give me a ring and talk to the Student Services team, who will ask, where do you live? That's the first question. Do you know your nearest bus into Ludlow? Because apart from 2 college buses from Powys, you'll normally travel on public bus services. We can tell you how to apply for a pass and where and when to collect it. Trains, if these are your best option rather than bus, please do contact me for information. And parents who are not expecting to apply for financial support may want to investigate a 16 to 17 rail card, which isn't the same as a 16 to 25 rail card, by the way, but contact me and I can give you more details about that. If you've already passed your driving tests and have to drive to college, I'm afraid there isn't any parking on site for Ludlow students, but there is a park and ride up at the Eco Park, And there are public car parks. The one at the Riverside is closest to the college and currently allows people to park all day at a reasonable price. So the next question people often ask is about money, costs, finances. Before you join, people are sometimes worried about tuition fees. Well, the good news is that if you're aged 16 to 18, it's usually free. If you're aged 19 or above, tuition may be free, for example, if you didn't pass your GCSE Maths and English first time round, or there may be costs depending on your circumstances. Please contact us if you have any questions. There are also things called advanced learner loans, which are available to adults aged 19 or over if fees are payable. These work in the same way as higher education tuition fees, but the amounts are usually lower. And as this is a government-run scheme, you can research this online yourself if you wish. We'll put the address on the screen. As for money and expenses while you're at college, the help available includes a 16 to 19 discretionary bursary, and I'll talk more about this in a moment. There's also something called the 19 Plus Learner Support Fund. And both of these are means tested, which means we do ask for proof of household income, and this needs to be under a certain amount. This year the threshold is £25,000 a year to qualify. There's also an advanced learner loan bursary for students aged 19 who are taking out an advanced learner loan. If you live in Wales and are also from a lower income household, you may be eligible for payments of up to £30 a week through the Welsh EMA and Welsh Government Learning Grant schemes. Payments are subject to your full attendance at college. We also have Ludlow College Foundation Awards for students who don't fit into the groups I've just talked about for one reason or another. So how do these funds actually help you? Well, if you qualify for one of the funds just mentioned, there'll be help with transport costs, typically a bus pass to college. In some situations, we can contribute to petrol costs, but that's mainly for students aged 19 and above. And train costs, but contact me for more information. So the funds will also help with any materials, equipment and trips which are a compulsory part of your course. Free meals, if you had them at school and your family circumstances have not changed, there's a scheme in Ludlow to help you buy lunch on days you're doing college. We work with local bakers and cafes on this. We may be able to help you with childcare, and there are two different schemes for ages 16 to 18 and adults. So please contact us for more information if you have children who may need childcare during your lesson times. There are Ludlow College Foundation Awards for non-standard items outside the usual schemes. And if you're progressing to higher education, there are awards such as the Caitlin's Kickstart, which is designed to offer financial help for when you first leave college and start at university. So while you're with us at Sixth Form College, you can also apply for a National Union of Students, an NUS card, a discount card, currently known as Totem, and this gives you discounts all over the country. You don't have to wait to be 18 and at university. Turning now to other support offered while at college, this includes academic help with lessons, coursework and study skills. This is run by the Additional Learning Support and Learning Mentor team. Or you may have concerns about mental health, so our Student Support Advisor team offer a confidential chat service where you can discuss any worries. You can either drop in or book an appointment through Student Services or through your personal tutor. We also have a college chaplain who's usually here once a week and offers the chance for a confidential chat. Otherwise, there's always ongoing support from Student Services. At Ludlow, we're based in the Learning Resources Centre, known as the LRC. Also your personal tutor, who you'll meet at least once a week in tutorial. And then all staff are available to help if there's an urgent need during the college day. Information is also made available through a programme of cross-college tutorial talks. By now you might be wondering where you can spend your non-lesson time. Well, our student hub is based in the LRC, the Learning Resource Centre, which is in the Harley Centre off Cassels Square. This is a fully accessible information hub for students. It's a large and airy space which houses the college library, a suite of 52 computers, and tables for personal and small group study. It's available for all your non-class time when you're in college. It's open Monday to Friday in college hours, and everyone's welcome. And our staff, including Steph Dunn, our friendly, helpful LRC facilitator, are available to help students with their inquiries. It's also our role to help you plan for when your college course ends. So this might seem odd if you're only now thinking about leaving school, but once you start, we'll help you with careers research and planning your next steps. This may be through one-to-one careers guidance interviews, bookable through your personal tutor or student services. We use a computer-based system called QDOS AD, which is similar to QDOS, which you may have used at school. This helps you assess your strengths and preferences and looks at possible jobs for the future and how to get there. We also offer group workshops on a range of topics, including a look at the local jobs market, and we have external speakers and visits. You'll also get support from your personal tutor, and careers resources are available in the Learning Resource Centre. Continuing with developing your career and study plans for after college, lots of our students want to go on to higher education, so we have university speakers to help guide your decisions, a free annual trip to one of the national UCAS conventions, usually held at a university. There you can ask representatives from many universities about the courses they offer to help you make the right choices for that next step. In Year 13, which we call Year 2, support with the UCAS application process is offered, UCAS being the universities and colleges admissions system. And as time progresses, there will be students' finance applications for university to consider, but that's a way off yet. Alternatively, you might want to go straight to work after college, ideally with some training involved, for example through an apprenticeship, including degree apprenticeship options. And on these, you'll learn and be paid on the job, making it a financially efficient choice compared to a purely academic university course. You may also want help with mock interviews and application processes, and we're here to support you with that. A word about work experience. As you no doubt know by now, work experience is also valuable life experience, not to mention it being a really good basis for finding paid work in future. If you want to go to university, admissions tutors often look to see what you've done beyond your academic studies. So the more experience you can get outside college, the better. Unless your course has work experience built into it, students usually undertake this in July at the end of their first year, unless you have other options which fit around your normal lesson times during the academic year. Your tutors will help with practicalities, but as your first year at college progresses, you could also be thinking about where you might find a placement, one which ideally relates to any ideas you have for future jobs or careers. This is particularly important if you want to go into the healthcare professions, as they will want to see that you're willing to get your hands dirty, literally or figuratively. But that's all in the future. So for now, student services and staff at Ludlow College are here to help you before, during, and in preparation for after your studies. My contact details are available in the prospectus and on screen now.
Hi there, I'm Chris Merritt. I'm one of two learning mentors here at Ludlow Sixth Form College. I've been here for 8 years now. Both of us, we take great pride in being able to offer a very personal service to our colleagues and students alike. I do not believe that this personal level of tailored service would be possible in a larger college. I tend to specialise in maths, my colleague Mary-Ann Wright in English, where she offers proofreading, essay composition, support with assignments and lots of other things. What do we offer? Every student can request a 1-hour support slot per week. This can be to discuss anything from personal organisation, remedial maths or writing assignments to mental health and domestic issues. The main need is often to rebuild the student's personal confidence and their self-esteem and to resolve any anxiety. We're always looking for ways to nudge our young people into becoming confident, happy and successful young adults. In-class support is no longer offered, but for example, we can anticipate with tutors when a class may struggle with a specific topic. Additional classroom support can then usually be offered to smooth the learning path and to ensure that no student is disadvantaged. We also help with exam access arrangements, helping tutors identify students who would benefit from things such as extra time, reader, scribe, etc. We manage the Form 8 assessment processes, which is normally completed by Christmas, and deliver 2 exams a clear student requirement, ready for the January mocks. During exam periods, we offer reader and scribe services and help anxious students perform to the best of their ability. We also offer full EHCP support for students with specific long-term needs, ensuring that these needs are fully met, and managing the review process with parents and the local authority. Finally, we interface with the excellent range of help offered by student services, ranging from transport to student safety and college security. This then cascades onto student support advisors, general counselling, university and financial advice, UCAS applications and/or careers and guidance. Basically, we can solve most issues if people speak to us. For those unable or reluctant to communicate, we can also operate in a more proactive manner. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name's Jenny Marsh and I am Senior Tutor and History Teacher at Ludlow College. In my role as Senior Tutor, one of the areas which I cover is the High Achievers programme at Ludlow, and I run the programme throughout the first and the second year. The first year of the programme is very much aimed at getting you prepared and ready to make choices about universities, and also preparing you for the tasks that you might face at interview. So we do a real range of things. We'll have speakers coming in from different universities. We go on a trip, so we went to Oxford University this year to go and have a look around. We also do team building activities and a range of things which will get you thinking and get you prepared for any interviews that you might face in the selection process for university. For the second year, we move forward and was very, very much focused initially on UCAS applications, getting those applications done, getting personal statements right, and getting those applications sent off by the 15th of October deadline. After that, up until Christmas is very focused on interview techniques and getting you prepared so that when you get called for interview, you will be as sure and as confident as you possibly can be. And then after Christmas, very, very much focused on helping you make your decisions, hoping make sure that you get to the right university, making the right choices.
Hello, I'm Neil Church. I'm the Deputy Head of Ludlow College. I'm going to assume you've had a look around now and you're interested in applying to college, and we're just going to talk a little bit about how that process works. So the first thing you'll need naturally is an application form. If you go into year 11, then your school will probably encourage you to do those around about November or December anyway, but we do accept applications from individuals all through the year. So you can find one either on the Ludlow College website, or you can find a hard copy in the back of our prospectus. Either way, there's two key bits of information there. One of them naturally is what kind of course you want to do. If you want to do A-levels here, we have 27 to pick from, and you may have already narrowed that down to 3. If you're not so sure, by all means put more than 3 subjects down on the form. If you want to do a BTEC vocational type course, then one course may well be enough to put down, and that would be the case if you want to do sport or early years or health and social care or business. Now, the key bit of information we need to correlate that with is your predicted grades from schools, and you can check yourself from the prospectus whether you're going to have grades which match the entry requirements for the courses. If so, there really is unlikely to be any major barriers to you coming and studying at Ludlow College. There will be other bits of stuff we need to know about you, whether you have any learning needs, whether you have any medical conditions, whether there's any unusual circumstances we need to deal with, and so on. But fundamentally that's it, and we will, on receipt, send you a letter confirming we've got that, and we'll move on to stage 2. So the second stage will be what we call a pre-enrolment interview. This means that we'll either come to you if you're in Ludlow School or Wigmore School or Tenbury or Lakenchild or Bishop's Castle, or you'll come to us if not, and you'll have a one-to-one chat about the application. It's not really a very formal process. We just want to know a little bit more about you, and we want to know why the course makes sense for you. So you can answer some simple questions like, well, why did you think Ludlow College will be the right place for you? Why did you think those courses will work for you? And where do you think they're going to take you? You can be pretty vague on the last one because we can work out your future while you're at college, but in most cases that would mean university or some specific form of employment. We can give you an idea of your timetable, which most students are pleased to see will be 4 days or 3 days a week in college as we stand rather than 5. And we can sign that off as a provisional plan. You're not committing yourself to college, but we are saying the door's open for you to do that kind of course, subject to you getting the right grades when you actually sit the exams, which, if this being 2020 obviously happening this year, we're expecting will in the future as normal, and that will be your passport to success at college too. Now, having done the pre-enrolment interview, the third stage will be to actually have a look at college live. Now, we do that through what we call the intro day. So on the intro day at the end of June, when your exams and GCSE life is over, you can actually sample college life and the courses that you're interested in doing in September, along with other people who've applied for similar courses. It gives you a nice flavour of college and also makes things that little bit easier when you come back for stage 4. Stage 4, of course, is enrolment itself. We'll send you a letter about that around about July time, so there's not much point going through that in detail now, other than to say that you'll need your results slips and you'll need some course fees, and the appointment that you're given will be after the bank holiday at the end of August. So when you come along, you'll meet a lot more of the staff who you're going to be with through the next 2 years, and you'll fill in some paperwork, and hopefully that will be the start of your 2-year association with Ludlow College, where you can make a success of your post-school life. If you've got any doubts along the way, we're pretty easy to contact by phone and email, and pretty good at dealing with your inquiries, I hope. I may be one of the people you'll meet along the way. But that's all I've got to say for now, so I'm hoping to see you sometime in the future. Bye-bye for now.
Okay, so that's a pretty comprehensive breakdown of sort of everything non-subject related for Ludlow. We have got some questions coming through. If I could jump to Sally, I think, first, if that's okay. Just got a few questions for you.
Yep. Hi.
So someone's asked, is there transport available to your students? If so, how do I apply for student passes?
There are buses coming into Ludlow from all sorts of directions. Most of the directions coming in on the sort of spoke system. Exactly which one is best for you, it's really best to give me a ring and I can talk you through it. But yes, there are definitely transport issues, transport coming into Ludlow.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. I mean, so someone's asked, do you need to pay for travel? If so, how much is it roughly? Obviously, that does entirely depend on where they're coming from, doesn't it?
It does, but unfortunately, after 16, there's usually fees, travel cost to pay for travel. It's not free. It's only free up till year 11 usually. But how much you have to pay may depend on your own financial circumstances, because we do have bursary schemes available for households under a certain income. And so it may be that you get it for free, although what happens is the college is paying for it. So contact me and I can talk you through that if you have specific questions. It's difficult to do without knowing exactly where you live.
Yeah, so it all depends on the specifics, doesn't it?
Yes.
Someone said, I'm hoping to pass my test soon, and afterwards would be looking to park. How much is it? So obviously there's no parking on site, but you mentioned the park and ride.
Yes, there's a park and ride up at the Eco Park in Ludlow, and then there are regular buses into town and back out again. I say regular, it's worth looking at the times on the website, and I can point you to that if necessary. But then there is also some parking nearby. There is a riverside car park down just underneath, well, below the castle, which some students use, but unfortunately there is no college parking on site for students.
Okay. Someone's asked, is there any financial support while I'm at college?
Yes, we have some bursary schemes. There are 3 different schemes according to your age, and they work slightly differently. But there is an income threshold. So essentially, the key figure that I do get asked is, what is that threshold? Generally speaking, if the household income is under £25,000 a year, then we can help you with the cost of travel and any compulsory material costs that come up through the course, or trips, for example. So if you contact me, then I can tell you where to find the bursary application pack, which it should be on the website fairly shortly, or I can post out packs to you to apply.
Yeah, so I think I've actually had an email to upload that onto the website, so hopefully I can do that later on today.
It'll be soon, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think the next lot of questions more for Neil, so I'll bring Neil into the fray.
Hello.
Hello. So someone's asked, is it okay to apply for more than one college?
It is.
You could in theory make multiple applications. Obviously, you at some stage you've got to narrow it down, but quite a lot of people will apply to 2 colleges possibly, and then go through the pre-enrollment interview process that I described and make their mind later on in the process. So my advice would be, do keep your options open, and if you are seriously thinking about different places, you can certainly make more than 1 application.
Okay, thank you. Someone's asked, what will happen if lockdown is still in effect when I'm meant to start?
Well, of course, the short answer to that is nobody knows at the moment. What seems to be likely is that there'll still be some impact of corona in September. So we will keep people informed about this as we go. So there is likely to be some social distancing affecting us, and it's quite possible, as you've seen already with predictions about the universities, that there may be some so-called blended learning where there is some learning delivered online alongside face-to-face. We will see, certainly from enrolment onwards. It's hard to envisage at the moment we can do enrolment as we normally do it, with big crowds of people in one room, so immediately there'll be an impact there. What we're doing at the moment is planning to have some students back in from June 15th. I think a lot of questions in our mind about how we can operate safely will be hopefully a lot clearer once we've done that for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's safe to say that it's a work in progress at the moment.
Absolutely, and because nobody quite knows how the world's going to look at the moment in 3 months or 6 months.
Or even 3 weeks at the moment.
Yeah.
So, okay. So along the same lines, someone's asked, will the intro days still happen this year, and are the year 10 trading days happening this summer?
Yeah, the sad answer to both those questions is no. It doesn't look like we'll be able to hold those, and that's unfortunate because I know a lot of students, they do really enjoy the experience of coming into college, and that influences their decision to come here. But unfortunately, because of the current climate, we're not able to have those days. So we will be looking at if we can have any alternatives in the autumn term. But if you're a year 11 who's just left, who would normally be coming to the intro day, it does look like that won't be happening this year, unfortunately. Hopefully a lot of those students will have had an experience of college when they came in year 10. So hopefully you've had some flavour of it.
Yeah, okay. I know this question probably is better suited to Sally, but there's a question of what support is there for dyslexic students?
There's an assessment. I'm actually going to turn that back to Neil, if I may, because I think he has a handle on that better than I do.
Okay. In a nutshell, you met Chris Merritt earlier. We've got 2 people we call learning mentors. Chris is one, the other one's called Marianne Wright, and they both offer support for students with all kinds of difficulties or issues which they need help with, and one of them being dyslexia. They will talk to you about that during enrolment, and if people need some people need resources prepared in particular ways for them, we'll get that message across early, and they'll also assist with things like almost inevitably you want extra time for exams if you're dyslexic, so we arrange for the testing for that. So there will be ongoing support through those 2 people who work very closely with any of our students who need support, Chris Merritt and Marianne Wright, basically.
Okay. Along the same vein, someone's asked what support do you offer for those with mental health issues?
We have a student support team, student support advisor team, who are in college and offer a confidential chat service. And of course, a lot of this sometimes is related to safeguarding issues. So we monitor that quite carefully, but we don't breach confidentiality rules unless there's a real reason to do so. So basically, we will refer you to the student support advisor team, who are very experienced and offer a confidential service.
Okay, thank you. And then this one, I'm 99% sure is going to fall in your remit as well, Sally. Is there anyone to talk to about careers and UCAS applications?
Yes, certainly. UCAS applications start through the personal tutor and with information coming from student services. There's a sort of a program running through the year which involves talks and then one-to-one consultations, and there's a trip that people can go on to meet various universities. And in terms of, we also have a careers advisor who comes up to Ludlow and who offers one-to-one guidance meetings. So that's bookable either through student services or through your personal tutor. So there's everything from sort of mass group, big large group of events to one-to-one guidance available to help with career decisions.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. So I think that's all the questions we've had come through. Now the session is being recorded, and you can view it back on the YouTube channel later on when it's been uploaded. And likewise, if you're watching the video on the YouTube channel and think, oh, the question I asked, the question I want to ask wasn't asked, by all means, you can send us your question through. I mean, presumably I can put your contact details, Sally, for people to contact you. Yeah, she's nodded. So we'll put Sally's details on there, so you can direct her any queries you've got there, any specific queries about finance or transport, anything like that, and she'll be able to assist you with your queries. Thank you for attending, and good night.